Oh, something different.
Mark chapter 14, verses 3 to 6. And while he was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he was reclining at table, a woman came with an alabaster flask of ointment of pure nard, very costly, and she broke the flask and poured it over his head. There were some who said to themselves indignantly, "Why was the ointment wasted like that? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor." And they scolded her. But Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me." I look at this story with this woman, and I find some very interesting and inspirational points about worship. The first thing I noticed with her was that when she showed up at the house where Jesus was, she showed up to give. She did not show up to receive, but to give. How often is it that when we get to the house of worship, the church house, the place of meeting, that our minds are controlled and engulfed with the idea of what can I get? We show up asking for a blessing and looking for a blessing and wanting a word and wanting a deliverance. But how often do we show up saying, "I'm here to give. I'm here to just bless the Lord, to just glorify Him, just to worship Him because He is good, because He's great, because He's worthy of the worship." Well, this is a good example. When she showed up, they were at dinner. They were eating, but she didn't show up expecting to receive any of the dinner. She didn't show up expecting to receive any recognition, any healing or deliverance. She just wanted to give. The next thing I noticed is that she was not deterred by the criticisms. There were those who were around who thought that her worship was extravagant, who thought she should not be doing what she was doing. But she was blinkered. This is between me and my God. She showed up and she decided to pour out her all in worship, to give to the Rabbi, Jesus, the Son of God. And nothing that anyone said made a difference. How prepared are you to worship despite the view of others? Is your worship tempered by the expectations or the criticisms of others? Well, the other thing I note is that her worship was spontaneous. So often we come into the house of God, or we get to that place of gathering, and you find that we have to be pumped up to worship. We've got to be prodded, we've got to be encouraged, or we have to wait on a particular time. At this time in the program, this is when we will lift our hands, or this is when we will sing and shout. This is when we will bow down. But this was not a part of the program. But God had been good to her. She saw reason to glorify Him. And so she broke out in spontaneous worship. Let us praise Him, not because it's a program. Let us worship not because this is a time they said to worship, but let us worship with our all at all times, because he's worthy of our worship. Praise is comely for the upright. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. And finally, I noticed with this woman that she worshipped without reservation. She gave her all. The alabaster box of ointment contained ointment that would have been equivalent to life savings. The cost of it was somewhere in the region of an entire year's wages for the common man. This was therefore a treasure. But she gave it all. She broke the bottle, she broke the box, she gave it all. Left herself with no option to retain any of it. Let's give her all in worship. Let's give it all to God. He deserves it. He has given us more than we could ever imagine, more than we could ever repay him for. So, let us learn from this woman and worship with abandon. God bless you. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And for more, join us at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings at 10 Union Square, Crossroads. If you can't be there in person, join us virtually via Facebook Live.